Hello YouTube, this is Haunted Box here, and welcome back to The Letter. Oh no! For some reason I'm always thinking it's freezing. When we last left off, if I remember correctly, turns out a woman had shown up thinking the place was already sold. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. Oh, and nobody believed her when she explained what happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia? A temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such, so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And, if I am going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in the house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose has just handed me. I can't tell if have or has is better in that spot. Dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer close to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Oh my god. Well, at least the people showing up didn't have to see the Blood Manor. Which actually is a level in, I think, Baldur's Gate? Blood Manor. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I wonder if they think that the fancier they are, the more likely they'll buy the house. Like, they can stake out their opponents. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stores. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. Really? They already own mansions? But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wandered to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCullough also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
But you don't own the house yet.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. Overconfident people they seem. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine? Or the television. I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman, in particular, is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I think they are brother and sister, if it wasn't for the public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are, indeed, a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed, before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I'd lead the way. When they aren't whispering amongst themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture, mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
You mean stained glass windows? Or the Tiffany lamps? I'm assuming if it's lamps, it's Tiffany.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
A mansion is too small?
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, Mom. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
Definitely overconfident. The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, 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 let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Ooh, that's definitely old school. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this'll be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet! An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. But this time, something lights up his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. He must like wine. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. Well, clearly, he needs some old wine down there that tastes like vinegar, obviously. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Oh my god.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than a half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room on the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big this is. Or how big it is. Now, I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale? When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. Is it just me or the couple wanting to buy this place kind of look like the people in the paintings? Though her hair is not nearly as big. I know, it's supposed to be creepy, but it starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear, and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me, everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
This parlor doesn't look very big. I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Well, at least she didn't scream.
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana.
Oh.
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectingly, as I struggled to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see...
Yeah, but you haven't even bought the place.
But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she's tasted a particularly sour lemon. She's one of those people who's used to getting whatever she wants.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
Dude, I wish I could say that.
And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
Hey, cats are awesome. And if she turns it into a cat sanctuary, I'm okay with that.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, Ma'am Hana.
Good job.
I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Definitely. Plenty of space. Cat sanctuary. Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? Exactly. Nothing is wrong with cats. More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
I grew up with dogs. I'm okay with that.
But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
You can't be that old. How long have you been married? Usually people only celebrate the important anniversaries.
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us.
And last time I checked, they didn't have a house buying or mansion buying anniversary.
Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am.
And you're not supposed to bribe them. I'm pretty sure it's against the rules.
I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
Exactly.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. Oh, great. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
You're getting your
Isabella.
name wrong. See, rich people.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella. Now you're just doing it on purpose.
It's Isabella.
And I don't like that thing right there. Your corseted cincher. It's not corseted. Your cincher. I don't like it. It's terrible. It's for getting your name wrong.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
Oh no. Someone died in the house. That's gotta be listed there. Or is it a weird document that I don't know about? A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Why? What is it?
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I'm guessing it's the help me note.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course.
It is.
It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
No, they're usually through the email. And I remember seeing a bunch of them in the early 2000s. It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. I'm pretty sure it's that note you found. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way ma'am... I feel like calling her madam would be more appropriate, but whatever. Ma'am Hannah's leading the conversation. I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though.
Oh, she
Otherwise,
glitched.
people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying,
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that, no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter and that woman in the attic, it's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? Well, I've been picking the honest route. We're showing you the letter. I blurted out before I could even think twice about what I was going to say.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. You shouldn't have said it loudly. I meant, like, show her the letter, don't say anything. It could corroborate your story. Most are still engaged in a conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their heads in our group's direction have been given trademark saleswoman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back neatly. Dude, you didn't even look at it.
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine.
That's right, we're gonna save innocent lives from the monster in the attic.
But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Could argue you're being stubborn too. Before Rose could open her mouth for a retort, a hand lands on both of our shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
The house is haunted.
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion.
Dude, I've heard that line in so many things. It's so cheesy.
Especially darling little Lily here.
Lily? He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze, while an inscrutable smile spreads across his face. Dude, are you guys really that bad at learning her name?
It's Isabella, sir.
They are that bad.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
and I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
Ooh, she's jelly. The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It is also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCullough's face. The realization that we might lose this sale because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond pissed. But we have to save these people!
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost out the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
The place is haunted.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before.
And worst comes to worst, you can blame it on a medical condition because she fell down the stairs.
If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look,
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that suicide letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it, nevertheless, more as an automatic response than a desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling that, one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery.
I wouldn't. Mansions are too big. That's a lot of upkeep.
But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
Dang, I shouldn't have tried to warn him.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel.
It's not necessarily true.
But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now.
You've been putting time out.
You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand. To some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
Duh.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment.
God, was that place haunted too?
He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Ha ha ha, you don't play video games, do you? At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere.
It's probably safer outside.
Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked.
And then you never return.
At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
Okay. She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Okay, I think that's where we're gonna end it today. It's a bit long, but this feels like the appropriate stopping spot. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.